Faithful Church. Thanks, Pastor Tim, for sharing this with us. As he mentioned, we all need to decide just how committed we are to this cause, and so that's what I'm going to speak to. I'm going to begin with the 2,500-year-old quote. Do not believe in anything simply because you have heard it. Do not believe in anything simply because it is spoken or rumored by many. Do not believe in anything simply because it is found written in your religious books. Do not believe in anything merely on the authority of your teachers and elders. Do not believe in traditions because they have been handed down for many generations. But after observation and analysis, when you find that anything agrees with reason and is conducive to the good and benefit of one and all, then accept it and live up to it. That was the Buddha. Believe. All of us are here today because we believe that there should be no war. It is because we have searched within ourselves and found that peace is conducive to the good and benefit of one and all. So why is it that we spend nearly $1 trillion a year on wars, occupations, and national defense? Defense against what? In a nutshell, it boils down to a defense of our ideology. We cannot keep our hands out of other people's business. It is conventional wisdom in this country to call acts like 9/11 and Pearl Harbor unprovoked attacks. But were they really? It is documented that there was prior knowledge of both of these dark days, yet no action was taken to prevent them. The reason they both occurred was because of our creeping American imperialism. Our hubris in thinking that we are the deciders, the Lone Ranger to the world with Britain as our Tonto, roaming the wide open spaces of the third world, enforcing our brand of justice, democracy, with both barrels blazing, i.e., propping up any strongman who gives us the best deal. Why can't we save ourselves from ourselves? The simple answer is that the majority of Americans are too apathetic and ignorant to know any better. Don't get me wrong, I love my country. I am proud to be an American. I spent my early adult years as a U.S. Marine. I was trained in the art of killing folks and also in the art of covering my ass. I was much better at covering my ass. Fortunately, I never had to use the killing part. I was a poor excuse for a Marine, but I served out my tour and moved on to the role of loose cannon. I wasted the next 20 years. Once I was able to emerge from my self-medicated fog, I opened my eyes. I dedicated myself to the cause of world peace. A true global peace movement has to start on a grassroots level. That's all of us here today. When we deconstruct a field of grass, we find 1 billion seeds planted in a fecund topsoil. Those seeds represent a feeling of surety that lives within our hearts, your hearts. I believe, you believe, that there should be no wars. We believe that there is no justifiable reason to kill another human being. None. Zero. We all have the same family tree. We are all cousins. Our blood is interchangeable, and we are one under the sun. So the seed of this awareness sprouts in our hearts and begins to grow. As we become more committed in our belief, we acquire an emotional stake in our cause. This is like a buzzy bee, a constant reminder of what we know is good and beneficial to all. The next step is to activate that buzzy bee and pollinate our neighbors and our friends and create more sprouts of grass. When placed in the right context, our stance becomes their stance, and they pass the buzzy bees on down the line. More grass begins to sprout, and soon we have an entire field and an active hive of buzzy bees. This is grassroots activism. America has pushed its ideology to the point where we can no longer be the big brother of the world, but rather the bully on the corner that takes the little kids' lunch money if they look at us wrong. That's happening right now in Libya. We impose our will on every other country that refuses to stand up for itself. We shame countries with our inference that it has to be our way or the highway. We discount the cultures of our cousins all around the world. We pride ourselves that we are a melting pot, yet we constantly look at other Americans with distrust and suspicion. We discriminate, we profile, and we live in fear. We think of ourselves as enlightened and progressive, but are we really? War is all around us. War takes place in our streets with gun battles every night. A class war is going on in our state, and that's part of the reason we're all here today. Our country is divided by an ideological war from the right and the left. We see it on the news. That is only if you can find a news outlet that is not tainted by that ideology. The world is ripe for a peaceful revolution, yet we sit back and complain, or worse, we change the channel. With satellite and cable TV, we are bombarded with mind-numbing entertainment. Sports, comedy, drama, reality. I say turn off the TV and the video games. Read a book. Pick up a copy of The Economist. Pull the plug out of the wall so that you can really plug into what's happening in this world.
Exactly.
War is within us. We are at war with ourselves on a daily basis. We fight with our spouses, our children, our bosses, and our co-workers. We judge reckless drivers, inattentive service workers, rude people on the street, and even the talking heads and opposing politicians on our TV sets. We pass through their lives in microseconds, so fast that we sometimes don't even spark a blip on their radar screen, yet we allow them to irritate and confound us. Our road rage is not a reflection on them, but a reflection on us. We ask to speak to their supervisor because it is us that cannot control the situation. We rail against the politician, but we do nothing to solve the problem. We allow our emotions to spill outside of our comfort zone, and we lose our balance. If we are ever to achieve world peace, it has to start in one heart, just like that seed of grass. We must first commit to have peace in our hearts. Then we commit to sharing it with others. We reclaim our comfort zone. We reclaim our streets. We reclaim our country, and then the world. We all hold within us the greatest computer ever built, the human brain. We degrade its efficiency with pain and emotion, abuse and dependency, self-medication and delusion. If our collective species were ever to find its balance, imagine what we could do. The solutions that we can come up with. Cancer, gone. AIDS, gone. Energy crisis, gone. World hunger, gone. Climate change, gone. Unemployment, gone. War, gone. If we cooperate to solve the world's problems, what will we have to fight about? Cooperation is the key. Yet big business doesn't want to cooperate. It is not in their best interest to do so. They make too much money with their obsolete technologies, their ineffective drugs, their engineered crops, that they will spend whatever they have to keep the solution suppressed. It is up to us to make a stand, to boycott those who hold back our solutions, to vote out those who refuse to represent us, to make sure that our majority, yes, the middle, our majority, isn't marginalized again. It is up to us to observe and analyze, to deduce what is good and beneficial to all, to let that little grass seed sprout in our heart, to let our emotions become buzzy bees that pollinate the seeds of others, to start a movement that becomes a huge grassy field. This is grassroots activism. Joy's power. I passed out some ballots for the people's budget. We broke down the discretionary spending that our government is spending, how they're spending our dollars. So I have plenty more ballots, more than we'll ever need, but I want to compile those statistics and then publish how we would spend our money versus how they would spend our money. So thanks guys for coming out. Enjoy your